Hey everyone, this is Brian, also known as Sketch, Community Manager here at 343, and I'm joined by Tom French. He is our UGC Director here at 343, and today we're excited to talk about all the new awesome stuff coming to Forge in the brand new free Monitor's Bounty update for Halo 5 Guardians. A huge update to Forge, correct?
Yeah, this is easily our biggest update yet. We have, there's 650 plus new objects in there. There's a lot of like fan kind of requested ones, some new stuff that we hadn't added before, Forerunner pieces, Sanheili pieces, a lot of new stuff.
I think you told me that this update alone constitutes more objects than really any of the prior standalone versions of Forge in their entirety.
At least all that I can think of. I went back through a few of them and I was like, I think we got all of them beat on this one update. So
I'd like to just dive right in.
Yeah.
Why don't we start off with taking a look at one of our new canvases that we have.
So this is the new canvas. This is Barrens. It's a desert canvas. This is like literally one of the most requested canvases that we could build. The community was always clamoring for this, and it has 3 really cool moods to it. This is my favorite, the kind of ominous dust storm kind of blowing in here. So it's, I don't know, it's just a really cool dramatic setting. And then we have another one that we'll show a little bit later. It's an underwater canvas, because the community really loves building underwater, even though Spartans are allergic to it, but it's good.
So what are we looking at here inside inside this canvas? Are these some new objects?
So these are some of the new pieces. So these are what we call classic scaled cargo containers. A lot of the community has been asking for these for making their recreations of existing maps. And so we took our current like modern cargo container style, but made it fit to the old kind of scaling. And then on top of that, to help them out, we built a bunch of like 5x5, which is more the classic scale, 510 based scale objects. And that'll help the community build, again, their recreations and their classics. And then this is a piece we actually originally started for Infection, but it ran into a lot of problems, so we kept beating on it to fix it. And this is really cool destructible creature tank. There's so much in here. And then this is Kevin the Crabby Crustacean, we like our little creatures in there. We have my piggy and we have our whale. And then, so the crab was another addition from our lighting artist that actually built this. He loved it. So we love that. These really cool billboards that we made, some new ones. We wanted some more urban kind of themed pieces, so there's that. This is the Wernicke Wrecker. This is a little special piece. We're going to kind of tease a little bit more about this, hopefully today, actually, before this video even goes out. There's the Return of the Landmine. There's some great pieces. Oops, they kind of blink weird when you select over them. But those are really cool. You can use them kind of as fences. We didn't actually get the fences, even though the community's been really clamoring for those. We literally hit memory max end, so we can't do anything. Variations of a van, another vehicle, more benches. Let's just go through these quickly. Parking lights, lots of doors and door frames that you can use. They snap together really nice. They're really easy to use, which is cool. Oops. So snap nice and clean together, because you can use this with the scripting, which we'll get into later, to actually open them how you want them. This one we didn't actually get to finish for the season. We started this in a previous update, but we didn't get to finish it. But we actually have a fully modeled interior of a Phantom.
Oh, nice.
And all the pieces come off. So it can be, you can have your open closed variant. You can do whatever you want with it. It's got lots of modular pieces. We have the effects so you can make it look like it's flying when it's all put together. Banners that we wanted a lot of Sanheili pieces after. So we went with the classic Covey first, and then we started with the Sanheili after that and built a bunch of those pieces, the statues that everybody was begging for, some really cool temple kind of pillars, and there's just lots of cool pieces that you can see for building stuff. We also wanted to make some beams, because people would use the light effects to actually create these, but they kind of fade out over distance. And so we actually had an effect artist build all these really cool beams. And we were kind of worried about getting all these in just because it was so much. But after I started seeing how they were coming together, we didn't cut them. We kept them, and they're really cool. I love them a lot. And then Forerunner pieces. You can build a lot of Forerunner stuff through kit bashing, but like these are like legit Forerunner pieces. They look really good. Some of them are animated. That one moves around. Or they're just like these, these giant, awesome accent pieces for making your levels look like a legit Forerunner level. So we brought the grid back of a few updates ago, but it was actually built to classic scale, and it didn't work with like modern maps. So that was something that we kind of actually changed and built a modern scaled version of the grid, which was kind of fun. This is a new thing that we have. We built new materials for this update. So there's 2 new material overlays. This is the new emissive material that we have, and it literally just glows and lights up rooms. There's more control parameters, so you can actually control how much it glows, which is really cool. It'll allow for some really neat lighting techniques. These were something that were built internally as of a hackathon. These just kind of, we call them pyramids. They're just kind of a weird little like pyramid angle piece that you can build stuff out of. They're just kind of fun. So we also adjusted the material overlay so you can control them a little bit better. So you can make your grime a little bit lighter, make it a little more medium, make it really heavy. It just gives a lot more variety to your levels. And then the other one we really liked is this is shellac. So we made it look like you just put a large layers of polyurethane over your objects, and it gives them that really smooth, kind of clean look and kind of future-y, which is kind of cool. Or it makes these bricks look flat, which is kind of fun too. This is something that the community has been really asking for too, is the destructible pieces from the campaign. So we brought a lot of those in, as well as like kind of the more organic ones, the walls, the kind of San Healy style ones. There's just a lot of pieces for destruction, which is great. We made the flag as a separate object so that they can script around it. Again, like this mini game focus, we wanted to give them as many tools for building like their own game modes. That was kind of our big focus. And then there's some classic weapons that are going in here, the grenade launcher, which is going to be a big favorite, and then the the sentinel beam, which is really cool. And then there's the ball, which we also put in here as well, so you can tinker with that. Boundaries on things can be visible now. You can make a boundary visible, so it's always there even when you're Spartan. And then this one, we scripted it so that when you walk in, it turns on the underwater effect, and we spawned in some fish.
Nice.
So you can kind of see, like, you can do all kinds of stuff, and then you walk out, boop, that goes right back away. So it's all just like, the scripting is super powerful, and we'll get into that in a little while. And then these are scriptable targets. So these are just kind of generic targets. You don't see them, but like if I shot it, it would go away. But that way you can trigger an event off of it, like something getting shot. And then ever importantly, a lot of new alien foliage. It also looks nice in the underwater, which is good too. So it kind of just add a lot of versatility, and like these are really cool plants, and the community really, really, really loves their plants. So we're giving them lots of plants. So this, just to give a quick look, here's beautiful, like moody, dramatic underwater canvas, and it's all flat to build off of it. It uses the same terrain pieces that you'd use from the title map as well.
It's two awesome looking canvases, but what I keep hearing the most about scripting and minigame. So what are we looking at right now?
So we're looking at a community map called Freight that we pulled in because we wanted to build King of the Hill. That was one of the kind of benchmark modes that we needed to build. It's a lot of foundational pieces there. So we pulled this map in, added a lot of extra pieces to it, did some extra scripting, put King of the Hill. This is a version we call Diminishing King on here, where it starts with all the hills and it reduces them as you play until you're fighting at one kind of central location. It gets pretty dramatic and epic. But it was really cool. He had really cool scripted cargo containers, and so we enhanced the scripting a little bit on those with the new toys. And then we're showing off, this is our new physics piece. We have these physics hinges and joints. So I made these cargo containers over the water, and there's this epic play that happened in there where he grabbed the power up, but it literally will swing by itself. And the users can actually build these themselves pretty easily once you kind of understand how they work. You'll see all the little nav points. So we have ways of generating nav points. You can change colors of things, assign them to different teams, put different labels on the nav points, and kind of basically really build your own modes. That was our goal. We want people to build their own modes until their heart's content, really. And then it's all hooked up on like dynamic scripting things, so this cargo container can move up and down, which was really cool. And then just a lot of little details. Like even I got really obsessed one day. There's Timmy the whale's in the water here, and if he'll do it every so once, he blinks his eyes just kind of randomly, just because it was fun. And then what we tried to do with a lot of the scripting, so with the King of the Hill, we wanted to kind of set some standards for how to build these things. And so like these are all the script brains that control the mode. And they're pretty simple. Like we're actually going to release our design documentation on how these work so they can learn from them and then kind of modify them, make them better, do whatever they want with them. So it's kind of an interesting little experiment, how compact could we make these, and then how versatile could they be. Like these like handful of script brains can actually make like 10 different versions of this mode, from all the hills to one hill at a time to rotating hills. So it's kind of neat to see all the different variety of things that you could do with them.
I know a lot of fans are going to be super excited to have the return of King of the Hill and then some, right? Because who's to see what variations come of that?
We even have another variation we're going to ship with it. So.
And there's another sort of fan favorite we could also say is back now, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, we started with this joke of like, we can give them race but not give them race. And so like, let's let them build race. And so we started with giving them the tools to build race. And that was our golden path to making minigame work, was King of the Hill and race were our tent poles for everything. We knew we didn't have time for the arena team to build a full functioning race mode, and so we kind of had been pitching this idea of minigame, and it kind of grew and snowballed into like, well, actually we started borrowing the arena guys. Like we couldn't have done some of this without actually everybody kind of pitching in. The arena guys gave us some dev resources so we could actually build the mode itself, or like they helped fix bugs or fix welding issues that we had, or write script functions that we needed. And so we really focused hard on building race. And what's cool is, again, much like the King of the Hill, it's super versatile and it's pretty easy to drop into a level. And then from there, like, customize it to your level. And then what we keep expecting is that people are going to take it and make their own like customized versions of race. Make it really personal, make your thing kind of stand out and special. So it definitely was the gold bar, and it was a lot of work to get it working. But we're really proud of it, and it's been really fun. We have 2 maps that we're going to try to ship with this that we're really excited about.
Well, I know you're going to make a lot of fans happy when they can finally play some race again in Action Sack, and of course, make their own infinite variations of race and ramps and all sorts of cool stuff.
Sure.
So I cannot wait to play that. But I think your favorite game, if I'm not mistaken, and what seems to be a studio favorite, is something totally new that no one even knows that they want yet.
Yeah, we so when we did the summer update, we added the golf pack kind of and all that stuff, those classic pieces. But as we did it, we're like, we really want to make a game mode out of this, and we started working on minigame. And so we came up with the idea of battle golf and like wrote it up on a board in front of us. And really, a lot of the early testing and foundations for minigame were built in battle golf. And people swear when they play this game, so it's often a good sign that it's fun. And there's a lot of screaming when it goes on. So I'm really excited to see what the public does with this. There's 2 teams, 4 players. Each team is trying to fight and get their golf club or their golf ball to the hole while they're beating each other with golf clubs. And it changes every round. It has like little almost putt-putt kind of qualities where it turns into tubes, and there's landmines in different phases. It's just, I don't know, it's really fun, and one of my favorite things that we've come out with this whole thing. And yeah, we're really hoping that the community latches onto this, because we really want a whole like hopper of like 18 courses, and so we can play battle golf to no end.
Well, I've just barely played golf a little bit. I cannot wait to play more. It looks like a pretty wild time.
It's
so I'm curious to see again what the fans, they may even take golf and push it further than you even imagine.
We hope so. We want hoppers full of battle golf. So
that would be a good thing.
It'd be good.
So of course, not only can you build new stuff and find new ways to play, but it's going to be easier than ever to find people to play with, right? With the introduction of what's essentially a custom game browser.
Yeah, there's a custom game browser that was added. It was a really helpful thing that we didn't even plan on before, but we brought it as towards the end. It was a couple people got really excited about it because really we wanted to help the PC community kind of start to work together and get to play more than they could right now. And so this is a great way for them to find a game. And you can either find a map that you really like and then find a game from there, or a game mode that you like through the file browser, or you can actually go through just like, let's find a game, like what's popular, what are people playing, and actually join into a game from there. So it's a really powerful tool to like connect the community together to play the game and all these kind of crazy modes that people are going to build with this stuff.
Totally, and it actually kind of connects the dots if you think about the Windows 10 PC experience for Halo 5, which is totally free, by the way.
Yeah.
Not only do you have the Forge toolset, but now that you can find people to play with, you essentially have the entire sort of Halo Arena and Forge multiplayer suite fully playable for free on Windows 10.
Yeah, and it's huge, and it's like it was kind of this perfect storm of all these things kind of lining up, like getting the arena guys to help us out, the mini game, the mode pieces, all these things just kind of landed nicely at the same time. And so I think we have this great time. We have probably one of the best Halo experiences available to you to play for free or on your console as well.
Awesome. Well, Tom, appreciate you walking us through this. Again, I wish we had hours because I know the fans cannot get enough of this, but something tells me we're going to be hearing a lot more from you in the weeks to come. Before we go, just any tips or advice you'd like to impart on our hardworking forgers before they sink their teeth into this update?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing I would recommend to them is to think about it, think about the design, actually kind of work out your design, think about all your logic, experiment with things, but actually then when you want to build your game modes, actually write it out and then actually kind of plot it and build it. It helped save me a lot of headache and hassle. So we're going to release those design docs so that you guys can see how we learned how to build things.
Awesome, and then iterate, of course, and then using these new tools, you can find people to come in and play test, and that's going to help make it easier for us here at 343 to take something and get it into matchmaking a lot faster.
Absolutely.
Cool, well thanks very much. We hope to see all of you in Halo 5, whether it's on Windows 10 or Xbox One, when the Monitor's Bounty update launches on December 8th.